You are not bad with money. Say that again. You are not bad with money. The shame you feel when the account runs low, the guilt when the savings don't grow, the confusion about why it never seems to work out, none of that is a personal failure. It is the result of a system that was never designed to help you succeed. And today, I am going to prove it.
Here is the thing nobody wants to say out loud. The financial system has one primary function: to move money from people who don't understand it to people who do. Not maliciously, not through conspiracy, but through design. Through products, incentives, and structures built to extract maximum value from people who are never taught how any of it works. And that design starts very early.
It is not a fair game. The rules of the financial system were written by institutions, corporations, and governments, most of whom had one interest in mind, and it was not yours. The average person enters adulthood with no financial education, immediate access to debt, constant exposure to advertising, and a paycheck that barely keeps pace with rising costs. That is not incompetence. That is the system working exactly as designed. Today, we are going to expose the system. Not to make you angry, though you may feel that, not to make you feel hopeless, because the opposite is true, but to give you something more powerful than motivation. We are going to give you clarity. Because once you understand how the system is designed to work against you, you can finally start making decisions that work in your favor.
Design flaw number 1. Nobody taught you how money works. Think about everything you learned in school: mathematics, history, literature, science, languages. Now think about what was missing: how to read a bank statement, how compound interest works, what a credit score actually measures, how to invest, how inflation affects purchasing power. None of it. 12 years of education and not one serious lesson on personal finance. That absence is not an oversight. Financial illiteracy is profitable. When you don't understand how interest compounds on debt, you borrow more. When you don't understand investing, you don't invest. When you don't understand fees, you pay them without question. 12 years of school. 0 hours on money. The system needed you to not know, and the system got exactly what it needed.
Design flaw number 2. You are targeted by experts whose entire job is to make you spend. Every major consumer company employs behavioral psychologists, data scientists, and marketing specialists with one singular goal: to understand your psychology well enough to reliably separate you from your money. The ads you see are not accidents. The colors, the timing, the wording, the placement, all of it is engineered to trigger specific emotional responses that lead to spending. The numbers behind this are staggering. Billions of dollars are spent every year specifically to influence your spending decisions, not to inform you, not to help you, to manipulate you. And these are not amateurs. These are among the most sophisticated behavioral science operations in human history, pointed directly at your wallet, every single day. You are not weak for being affected by it. You are human. That is exactly what they counted on.
Design flaw number 3. Debt is sold as opportunity, while the fine print drains you. Credit cards with rewards programs, buy now, pay later schemes, personal loans marketed as financial tools, student debt sold as an investment in your future. In every case, the product is presented as something that helps you. In every case, the actual function is to generate revenue for the lender by extracting interest, fees, and penalties from the borrower. The language of debt has been designed to make it sound like a gift.
Buy now, pay later is one of the most perfectly designed financial traps in modern history. It removes the pain of payment from the moment of purchase. It makes expensive things feel affordable. It spreads the cost invisibly across future paychecks you haven't earned yet, and it generates enormous profit from late fees, interest, and the simple fact that people spend more when payment feels painless. It sounds helpful. It is designed to trap you.
Design flaw number 4. Your paycheck buys less every year, and nobody warns you. Inflation is the silent tax that the system never explains clearly. Every year, the purchasing power of your money decreases. What cost $100 a decade ago costs significantly more today. And while prices have risen dramatically across housing, food, healthcare, and education, wages for most workers have not kept pace.
You are not imagining it. You are genuinely getting poorer in real terms, even when your salary stays the same. Here is the data that should outrage you. Over the past several decades, productivity in the economy has increased dramatically. Workers produce more value than ever before. But the gains from that productivity have not been shared equally. Wages grew a little. Corporate profits and asset prices grew enormously. The gap between what you produce and what you take home has widened significantly, and the system has no mechanism designed to close it.
Add it all together. No financial education from the start. Constant professional manipulation toward spending. Easy access to debt disguised as opportunity. Inflation quietly eroding purchasing power year after year. And a wage structure that hasn't kept pace with the cost of living. That is not personal failure. That is an impossible position that most people are placed in before they ever make a single financial decision. The game is rigged, and you were never told.
So stop blaming yourself. Seriously. The shame around money, the feeling that you should have figured this out by now, the belief that smarter or more disciplined people don't struggle, all of it is part of the system too. Shame keeps you isolated. Isolation keeps you from learning. And staying financially uneducated keeps you profitable for the institutions that depend on your confusion. It is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to fight back. And that starts right now.
Awareness is your first weapon. The moment you understand that the financial system is designed to extract from you rather than support you, everything changes. You stop seeing your financial struggles as personal failures and start seeing them as the entirely predictable result of systems working as intended. And once you can see the system clearly, you can start making decisions that navigate around it instead of walking straight into its traps.
There are 3 ways to start beating the system right now. Not next month, not when you earn more. Right now, with the information you are gaining in this video, with the income you currently have, with the decisions available to you today. Because the system's greatest advantage is your belief that change requires perfect conditions. It does not. It requires one decision at a time, made with better information than you had before.
Step 1. Self-educate aggressively. Fill the gap that school deliberately left. Read about personal finance. Learn how compound interest works. Understand what inflation actually means for your money. Study basic investing principles. You do not need a finance degree. You need consistent exposure to information the system never gave you. Every hour you spend learning about money is an hour the system loses its advantage over you. Knowledge is the only real advantage available to everyone.
Step 2. Recognize the manipulation. Every advertisement you see is designed to take your money. Every sale is engineered to create urgency that doesn't actually exist. Every buy now, pay later offer is structured to make spending feel painless, while the cost accumulates invisibly. Once you can see these mechanisms for what they are, they lose most of their power. You don't have to eliminate all spending, you just have to make it conscious instead of automatic.
Step 3. Use the system against itself. The same compound interest that banks use to extract wealth from borrowers can work in your favor as an investor. The same automatic systems that move money from your account to pay bills can be redirected to move money into investments. The system has tools that work in both directions. The difference between who gets rich and who gets drained is often simply which side of those tools they are standing on. Get on the right side, starting now.
The system has powerful tools. Compound interest is the most powerful financial force that exists. When it works against you through debt, it drains you exponentially. When it works for you through investing, it builds wealth exponentially. The same mechanism, completely opposite outcomes, depending entirely on which side of it you are on. Use it before it uses you, because it is already running. The question is simply which direction it is running for you.
The informed always win, not because they are smarter, not because they work harder, but because they can see what others cannot. They can see the advertising for what it is. They can see the debt product for what it is. They can see the fee structure for what it is. And they make decisions based on reality, rather than the version of reality the system wants them to believe. That visibility is available to you, right now. You are already building it. The simple truth is this: the system is real. The design flaws are real. The manipulation is real. The rigged game is real, and none of it is your fault. But your ability to fight back is also real. Awareness, education, action. Those three things, applied consistently, are how people beat systems that were designed to defeat them. The system is real, but so is your ability to beat it.
You are not the problem. You were never the problem. The problem is a system that profits from your confusion and your compliance. Now you see it. Now you can stop complying with the parts that hurt you and start using the parts that help you. Go learn, go invest, go build. Because you were never bad with money. You were just never given the tools. Now you have them.